This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl.
Start your engines.
Race fans, you are tuning into the only motorsports show in San Diego. Your host, Dave Stahl, and the racing school teacher, Britney Sandoval, are taking you to the green flag, covering everything from your top-notch national drivers and crew chiefs right down to your local kid racers and racetracks. Strap in, it's Checkers and Wreckers on RACER Radio.
RACER Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
Brought to you by Southwest Point of Sale. Here's the answer, folks. Anybody with a small grocery store, gas station, liquor store, having trouble keeping employees, go point of sale. Just point where you don't have a checkout. Self-checkout point of sale. It works great. It's cheaper than a cash register. You'll get 7-day, 24-hour-a-day service. How's that? 800-540-2149, 800-540-2149. Shows you just who will advertise on radio, because AM's the best. SouthwestPointOfSale.com, SouthwestPointOfSale.com. Hey, if you got a Porsche Mini or a BMW and want to try something a little different than the dealership, Black Forest Motorsports is the answer. We're 40 years experience right over there in Kearney Mesa. Blackforest.com, blackforest.com. Super easy. Check them out. If you want to go racing, they can make that happen too. God, it just seems like I just seen these guys.
Can I say something about
can.
Our guest? So I was telling him, the first thing I think I told our guest was yesterday you came out to the track. It was very nice to see you at Verona.
My pleasure.
On race day, I don't hear much. I don't remember much. I try to stay in the zone.
Yes, you do.
Because it's hard for me to get there, so once I'm there, I idle there.
Right.
But I remember one of the first things you said was, you're really going to like our guest tomorrow, because you got to meet him on TV.
I did.
Yeah, so I remember that.
Because you had not met him before.
No.
Yeah.
And not only did I remember that, I can confirm that you are correct.
That's right. And you can't have him.
I know.
I'm just telling you right now, Dad's got full control. You cannot
yes.
have this kid.
So for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, I have a young driver next to me, and he's played a lot in the dirt. Maybe that's our natural connection, but he has made the transition over to asphalt. And this season, he's running make sure I get this right, the Junior SPEC Late Model Series. I got a thumbs up. The SPEC is very specific, and I want to hone in on that once we start. Yeah. Anywho, we have Charlie Carty and his father, Keith.
Is that not a racing name?
Yeah.
Or what? Charlie Carty. Yes. That just rolls off your tongue. So, Charlie, now that your head's as big as a Volkswagen, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Not bad. When are you going racing again?
June 10th.
Can't be sitting around here doing all this talking and stuff, right?
Yes, you do. There's a lot of it if you're going to go.
But you know how important it is to have to do this, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like us or not. You got to sit there. Don't you love it when you watch racing and you can tell when the driver doesn't want to talk to the reporter? Don't you just love that? But you got to always keep smiling. You got a great smile.
I think it drives some people out of the profession.
I know,
There's
they can't.
MotoGP guy
I get it. They said, they can drive, they can race. Okay, here's my rendition. You don't know this guy, but a guy by the name of Jeff Burton. He drives NASCARs, and his brother is Ward Burton. He drives NASCARs. If you put the two together, Ward is way better than Jeff. But when you ask Ward Burton a question, he says, "My name's Ward Burton. I drive NASCAR. I drive NASCAR 4 to a year." And the advertiser said, "What did he just say?" So he doesn't race at all anymore, but his brother did up to a certain point. So you got that part down pat.
Yes. So I've been lucky enough to spend the last half hour in the green room with him.
Yeah, you have.
But for
you didn't do a show, did you?
Well, I got some facts. For our listeners who haven't had that time with him, would you let us know about your experience in the dirt and why maybe you're now over in asphalt?
Yeah. What'd you start off in dirt?
I started off at Verona Speedway in a mini dwarf.
Okay.
So you went-
How old do you think you were then?
Around 6 and 7 years old.
Okay. All right. So the old man said, "Hey, come here. Let me show you something." Don't you hate that when they do that?
and how many seasons? I'm sorry.
About 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So solid commitment.
And in that 4, how well did you do?
The first 2 seasons was just kind of figuring out how to drive, how
Right.
to set up the car.
Right.
The last 2 seasons we did pretty good. We're finally getting the car down, and
Right.
I was starting to figure out driving at that point.
Uh-huh.
He's being humble. How many wins?
Couple. A handful.
Probably, I don't know.
Dad, help us.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's 14 races per year, per
Right.
season, and he won 2 in a row, 2 seasons in a row. So
he did.
so
Not
28
how many-
races.
Not how many races. He won the season championship.
Yes.
and
He
all
was-
the races,
He
in
was.
both of the seasons.
He won all the
Yes.
races.
He's being humble.
Okay, so there's not very many kids that like you, right?
Oh.
No,
Nah.
only a few.
If they meet you, they like you. Because I got a sneaky feeling. I'm gonna just because you got to be honest. You seem like you're a pretty clean racer. I mean,
Yeah.
He's nodding yes, listeners.
rubbing his racing is not really why you're out there.
No.
You like the style and the finesse, and when you do go by them, they're just going, "Dang, there he goes again."
He's out driving me.
What do you think it is? Or do you even
Yeah.
think about it?
No, I just focus on the racing.
Right.
What do you think it is, Dad? You have a different perspective watching.
Well, this.
What?
Well, he's a crew
no?
chief.
Should
He
I-
used to be. He's not anymore.
I know he's not allowed. That's the whole.
No,
SPEC
we're gonna.
thing.
And I know, dude. I
Which
thought
is
the guy
rad.
was sweating bullets this morning just talking about it.
But what do you think led to so many wins?
Just our commitment to it.
Because it's a team effort.
It's a team effort, but we focus just on that pretty much. That's the whole focus since he was about 2.5 years old was how to drive a car with the rear tires as well as the front tires, and just practicing new things and trying new things and
Writing them down, possibly. There's that journal question.
Trust
Do we
me, I'll be on
do it?
that at the end of the
Okay.
show. By the way, have you noticed what we did today? Have we not had 2 of the most amazing kids
Yeah.
in one day?
Yeah.
And if you knew the last one we had, oh my goodness, I mean, guy can play drums.
He's 7 and he plays Slipknot on the drums.
that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and he goes, well, I just listened to it for a
Yeah.
little bit. And
Now
just,
this guy, I just win 28
yeah.
races.
So it's the
know.
same, which is good.
Focus.
Whatever cereal you're eating, stick with it because it must
Is
be
there
doing the
Wheaties?
thing. So do you do anything? Okay, so you're racing now.
On asphalt.
On
though.
asphalt.
That's different.
How long have you been on asphalt?
For about 3 months.
And how'd you
Oh.
do on asphalt?
So there's been 4 races so far, and I've won all 4. So pretty
Okay,
good.
I didn't hear
Okay.
that in the green
We
room.
have to
Oh my
work
God.
on PR, okay? I mean, now you've made how many other drivers angry again?
Not angry, not if he is.
You got to stop that. No,
Darren
but
Brown wins all the time, and we're not
I know,
angry
but he
at
is
him.
such a nice guy. So you go from dirt. Did you do any practice before you got on asphalt? Before you raced, or
Yeah, we did a few practices. We have a go-kart, which we practiced a couple times, but
so what? So I know you're going to hate this one, but what do you like the most, dirt or asphalt, or have you not been on asphalt enough to really judge?
for me, they're kind of even. They both have their pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
But
What I like. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Well, what I like is it's the second word, junior spec. And we were talking about this. Please elaborate.
Oh,
You
you-
only have a minute.
This is a segment.
Honestly.
This is a segment. Oh, by
I
the way,
know.
and Scott's not calling it.
Oh,
So we'll have
we'll
3
miss you,
segments.
Scott. But thank you because we can talk about the spec then because
Yeah.
it's more than a 30-second thing.
Yes, and that's real important
Yes.
because when families out there hear about this, they're absolutely not going to believe it. And we want to thank a gentleman that has made this all
That's
possible.
pretty
But
cool.
first, we got to take a break. This is Racer Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
All right, folks, welcome back to Racer Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
Brendan knows how to
It's in your-
turn those switches.
Yeah, it's-
Hey, this is El Cajon Ford. I'm telling you, they were out last night. PJ put it to the metal from El Cajon Ford.
He does that.
Well, I don't know if he's from El Cajon Ford, but his dad owns El Cajon Ford. Great race last night, folks. If you didn't go to Verona, come on.
Missed out.
You got to get out there. But they sponsor Verona Speedway, which we highly are appreciative of. And I know. We got Mark Rose?
We do.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Get your announcers in Ireland listening on iHeart, so be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed him. We missed her dude this Saturday.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So what did you think of the racing last night?
Oh, awesome, as always. Just, I mean,
It was hooked up.
It was hooked
It
up.
was rough.
Well,
Holy cow for the dwarf cars.
but we
were
all
going
figured
other
out
place,
you need to
but-
be in the center, not on the high, not on the low, right in the center.
But it was hooked
And
up.
Marcy just
She-
kicked
yeah.
serious, but I loved it. It was a good night. Everybody should come out.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Todd Salazar, Trish Salazar, and I are really happy with the attendance. You know, we had 102 cars last night.
Really?
Yeah, with the kids classes and the adults, 102 cars.
Yeah.
And thanks to Robert Peters with RPM Heating and Air, Cole Dick with Pacific Crest Services, and Dave Stahl with Racer Radio. 11 of those drivers were from out of town.
Nice.
And they actually, a couple of them came up and actually said, hey, thanks a lot, man, because I wasn't going to come. But when I heard you were paying, my entry fee, I go, what the heck? What have I got to lose? Load it up.
I'm not enough to get you there, Dave.
Well, it didn't look like it. Sorry. I know.
I put on a good show for you.
We had a dwarf car driver from Phoenix come over.
Yeah.
We had 2 cars from Brawley come up. We had 2 cars from Kokopah. We had a IMCA stock car come from Las Vegas.
Oh.
So he was the long haul.
Wow.
Just an epic night of racing. And now that you're mentioning PJ from Elko and Ford,
Great job.
the kid, he lost a couple positions at the beginning, and he fell back to third, and lo and behold, here came PJ, and here came Wild Thing. Michael Thing came up through the pack, and they were fighting Cole Dick for the win, and lo and behold, PJ put a couple moves on those boys and took the win. And I don't know who was happier, PJ or his dad, Paul. I mean, they were both ecstatic.
Yeah. And it was good racing, too. Nice, close. It was,
And this is modified division we're talking
that was
about?
a modified.
Yeah, that was the modifieds. And, to elaborate on what Brittany said about the track getting rough, we have all the different divisions on a rotation pretty much. And when I make the lineup, everybody needs a shot at the dash for cash, and everybody needs to be the premier division. So the pure stocks were up first, and they run the narrowest tire that we have besides the Sport Compacts. Mm-hmm. So they do put some grooves in the track. But it wasn't anything that Ken couldn't fix during intermission with the blade and a little bit of water and Bardo. So the track was good for the second half. But unfortunately, with the dwarf cars, the smallest cars out there, being fourth up last night, they did have a little bit rougher of a track.
But going forth, so thankful it was hooked up. It was awesome. We all were talking about the drive out of the turns. It was amazing to be fourth and still
have what you were looking
much
for.
Hookup. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And you could tell by the way the car. I mean, I told Brittany, I go, you were like on a rail. Just like on a rail, and you hit your marks. And I think you can only do that when the track is right. I didn't see too many people spin out or get out of control, unless they hit somebody else. No, it was good. It was good racing last night. The weather was phenomenal. How'd the kids do?
Yeah, it really was. Well, it's funny you say that because Nick Novak is the race director for the kids division, and it had a rough couple of years lately, and we are getting nothing but great feedback about growing that division. Nick and his 3 or 4 guys that are running that division are doing an awesome job. And on that note, his son Jacob started 8th in the main event.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, with his brand new race car, he got his first win in the junior sprint.
Yeah.
Yay, Jacob.
Did you see that car? That thing's beautiful.
Yeah, I came over to look at the new
It
wrap.
looks like he needs a Racer radio sticker.
You know what? I'm sure they would fly it for you. And You know, a lot of people did notice that wrap, and I got to thank my buddy Justin Scholdice from Kingston Media. He is the one that did that for us, and in a really quick turnaround, so Jacob could get a wrap on that car. So thank you, Justin. But on another note, David Ross from up north, he brought his son Easton down, and Easton won the Sportsman Mini Dwarf class. The kid is just, I think Easton's 6 or 7, and he has matured so much. And he got a great win in his Sportsman Mini Dwarf. And lo and behold, somebody had to win the Masters Mini Dwarf, and that was his sister Melanie.
Oh, wow.
The Ross family last night was 2 for 2.
We've had them on RACER
Yeah,
Radio.
we have.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a fun ride home.
Yeah, in that big trailer of theirs.
Let's go get ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, and then if anybody missed the pure stock race, they missed a heck of a race tonight. Brandon Jacina, Curtis Ryder, and Christopher Evans were up front, and they put on an epic battle, literally for 20 laps. And congratulations to Christopher Evans, because he did come out with a win on that. With a couple laps to go, he kind of walked away with it then. Pony stocks, not a big turnout, but Dennis Taylor, I don't think he's lost this year in the pony stocks. But his brother-in-law, Raymond, I think he's going to get Dennis one of these nights, because they've been putting on a good show. Yeah. IMC Hobby Stocks, Tommy Daffern came up from Brawley, put on a clinic. I started calling him Topside Tommy because he never came down off the cushion.
Oh.
He was 2 feet off the wall the whole night. So
I was thinking about that today after, running it back through my head of the track. Why don't more people stay up at the top?
Why do or don't?
Don't.
Because it's so close to the wall, Dave. The wall's hard.
Okay. Do you know?
The wall is hard.
No. Do you know what Richard Petty always used to say?
What do you
Why
say?
did he run so close to the wall? Because if something happens, you don't have that far to go.
Well, if you're open wheel and you touch the wall, that's scary.
You're not open wheel. Well, yes, you are too. All right, continuing on. Don't mind our direst.
IMCA Sport Compacts. Unfortunately, we did have a pretty bad rollover last night. But,
I saw the red come out.
Yeah, Troy Foltz, he's okay. I firmly believe that was a racing deal. Him and Marcy were battling on a restart, and unfortunately, Troy came up on the bad end of that one. But
which he had to run up on a wheel. Yeah,
they were crowding each other toward the wall, and they both needed to make an entry into turn one, and unfortunately he got crossed up, and Marcy, couldn't lift in time, and it was a racing deal, and it's going to happen. Marcy felt horrible, but she ended up leading the next. Gosh, I think it was about 14 laps. Wow. And on the final lap, Chris Nemi finally got under her in turn 3 and 4. And
got her.
He was stalking her for the last couple laps.
Oh, wow.
That kid races super clean. He would have never laid a fender to her.
No.
And they battled it out for a great win.
What a great show that must have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really was. A lot of cars, man. And last but not least, the dwarf cars. I got to hand it to those dwarf cars. They had 18 cars there last night. Like I told you, one of the gentlemen came over from Phoenix, but we had 17 of our hometown racers.
Wow.
Michael Tobias and Brittany, Robert Peters, Tristan Peters, and to name just a few. And these guys are hot rods, including Brittany. She's fast.
She won't admit it, but I watched her last night, and I told her I don't want to hear any more of it.
She's humble. She's humble.
She's getting better every time.
Lo and behold, the guy that does a lot for our sport, John Harris, he put up a long distance $200 for the long haul.
Wow.
So the kid from Phoenix got an extra $200 just for showing up.
Wow.
From John, and lo and behold, John got his first win last night in a dwarf car. So I think everybody in that division was happy for him. I don't care if you finished first, second, or last. You were happy for John.
I pit next to him, and when he came back from tech, we all stopped what we were doing and started clapping and cheering for him. We're all very happy for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he puts in a lot of time and a lot of effort. He's a great patriot for our racing up there. And
yes, he's huge for our
I'm still
division.
stoked for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we are all stoked, yeah. Congratulations, John. He's the one that always
yep.
sends me the dump truck picture.
Of course, he was on. Yeah, no.
So he goes. So I said, now you have to say everybody saw it, not just me.
Yeah,
If
because
the guy beats me by one, he'll send me a picture of a dump truck with his 65 on the back of the dump truck and say Britney's View. To me on Facebook,
he tells everybody
it's
that,
very
yeah.
public. Yeah. So I said, well, we all saw that view, and he's all, that's right.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been doing this that long, has he?
He's been in the racing world for decades.
Okay.
I'm calling out how old you are, John.
Yeah, but not this
for
division.
the dwarf cars with the heavy hitters we have. I mean, he beat Tobiasen, he beat Peters, and Mikey Hall,
and he's not a little guy.
And he's not a big guy, but
Well, he's not a little guy.
He beat
Like you.
5 other people that have won the division.
Wow.
Before, so.
Or championship. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys got to be pretty happy how 23's rolling out.
Yeah, man, we've got so much support and so many good people around us, and we're not hearing any negativity. Everybody, I mean, if they have a suggestion, we listen.
Right.
But it's so nice to be a part of something that has turned around, and we're really gaining steam. And I you know, it doesn't go without being said. You're a big part of that too, Dave. You help us. You put us on the air. You everything you've done is appreciated, and me, the Salazars, everybody up there appreciates what you guys do.
But
Brittany as well.
Everybody's got to pitch in. Penny to a million. Everybody's got to pitch in. You know, and you guys truly remind me of the San Diego Automotive Museum. They got new ownership, totally changed. Place is rocking. You guys just adjusted accordingly. Great owners. You have been such an asset.
Yes, you have, Mark.
To the whole operation. Wow. That I know you're humble, but I'm telling you, but it's a team. You know, it's like you put together a football team or a baseball team. You can get the most expensive players out there, but if they don't gel, then it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You're gelling, the museum's gelling, and Brittany's got her finger
No,
up.
I was just thinking, I feel like Mark kind of united us.
I totally
He was
agree.
Kind of
I totally agree.
Fair, unbiased, and kind of brought everybody together.
Well, just organization.
It's nice to hear, and all I do is I orchestrate the people that are up there. So it's the people doing the work. You know, I'm not a finger pointer. If there's something that needs done, I'm going to hop in and get it done too. But it's nice, man.
Yeah.
It's really nice to hear the positive things.
And listen to his voice. How would you not say no? I mean,
I heard his voice all night in my ear.
And all you heard was, and what did you say every time? Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I tried
Yes,
giving
sir.
him a thumbs up on the way onto the track. Before the segment's about to end, June 10th, we're racing again,
Yeah.
right?
June 10th, we are racing again. And, man, I'm so tired from last night, but I am already looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Okay. Last question.
No, I'm not asking about practice. There's not practice. I'm not asking.
You're not
No,
asking?
I'm not asking anymore.
I'm not going to say there's not, because there's already people talking about it. So
It needs to be a better turnout, right?
Yeah, we need, if people complain that we're not opening for practices and things, and it's fairly inexpensive to come up there and practice for 3 or 4 hours. If you need seat time, then that's the time to do it. So let's get some people obligated to an open practice, and we will do it on the 9th.
Well, if nothing else, find out how many cars will it take to make it at least break even.
That's a good point.
Yep.
If you do that, and then we'll promote it. Say, hey, so far we've only got 6. We've only got 4. If we don't get the rest of them, guess what? We're not practicing.
Maybe that's something we do during the segment on the off weekends.
The week prior to the racing weekend.
That's a great point.
Yeah, it's all about guilt.
No.
No, because you guilt those guys.
Ideas.
Because they all have
save it
other.
for next week.
There she goes, being a school teacher.
No, I looked at the clock.
All right,
We got Charlie here
BronaSpeedway.com. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, he's asleep.
Thank you, Mark.
Dude, he was sleeping in the truck this morning.
Again, thank you guys for everything you do, and we appreciate you guys promoting our sport.
All right, we'll do it as much and as long as we can. Right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
All right, that must be a good song because Brittany is grinning from. What is it?
No, I'm imitating when I get scared.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought you were. Jeez Louise. Right here on RACER Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
All right, this segment is brought to you by Paris Auto Speedway. They had a wild night last night. You'll have to go to ParisAutoSpeedway.com because Scott took the night off.
Oh.
So he must have
He
had
needs rest.
one wild night. If you haven't been to Paris, Night of Destruction, 4th of July, USAC, I mean, you're not going to get it any better. If you ever wanted to go to Ascot and didn't, go to Paris.
Yes.
You'll love it. So with that being said, we got Charlie Carty in the house.
Charlie, our junior SPEC.
And we got
Late model driver.
his very supportive father.
Oh, yes, Keith.
But now we talking about a division. What's it called?
Junior SPEC, late model.
But it's a late model. It's a full-blown NASCAR-ish.
What are you driving, a Mustang?
Yep, it's the body style's Mustang.
Yeah. He only did that for you because he knows you have a Mustang.
Charlie.
But the thing of it is, it's a 350.
Yep.
And you're 12?
Yep.
You hear that, listeners?
We hadn't got to that part yet. It's a manual transmission
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
with a clutchy pedal
Yep.
and a rear end.
Yes.
It's a NASCAR.
It's the real deal.
Yes.
But here's the thing. So, Dad, how much gold do you have? I mean, how many millions of
Which
dollars do you
bank
have?
is easy to rob?
Yeah.
I'd like some notes.
But you figured out a way, thanks to some very dear friends, to put this kid in the car for a minimal amount of money. So let's give a little love to the owner.
So Bob Bruncotti is the owner of the entire series. So he owns all the cars.
How many are we talking?
They're building 10 altogether. They're up to number 9 right now. So one more left to build.
Oh, almost 9. The knife car is still almost built.
In production.
Yeah.
Do you go help?
No.
We just seen it.
Oh, you just said.
Yeah.
You don't
So the idea is what are the age? What do you have to be from what to what?
So it's 12 to 16 years old.
Okay.
And it's a rental program. It's not even
Not an ownership.
no, it's not an ownership. The same crew of what, Charlie, 4 or 5 guys
Yeah,
work
around
on the
that.
car.
Now, when you guys go to a track, how many cars go? How many have they rented? I mean, how many do
Sounds
they
like
normally?
8.
But around like 7, I think.
So now, does this crew have to crew for all 7 cars?
Yes.
They do.
Yes. Yep.
That's the key, is they are all the same car.
That's
Literally.
what makes it spec.
Yeah, down to tire pressure. The same guy does all the tires. The same guy does all the carburetors. And it's a 3-time West Championship
Wow.
team that they no longer run an ARCA series anymore. They
Okay.
now just run this junior spec late model series, and that's
Okay,
it.
so maybe I went left, and I should have went
We'll come back over
right.
here to the right.
Yeah, no. So what I should have said was, you don't have pit stops during the race.
Oh.
Nope. There's only like 25 laps, 25,
Yeah.
30
So
laps.
yeah,
okay,
you don't-
because I mean, I'm imagining a crew taking care of 7 cars.
Oh.
I mean, if you come in first and she comes in second, who do I go work on?
No.
Okay, so I get it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's so you basically, these are the prep guys. So that
Yeah.
car, out of the first 9, are identical.
Exactly.
And the
Completely identical.
and the difference is sits behind the wheel.
Exactly.
Correct.
Which is so cool.
So what's the limit? Or does he know yet? Or does he wait, the owner, for more and more kids calling up saying, "Hey, I want to do this." Okay, we'll build another
Are
car.
you saying is 10 cars the limit? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I guess that's kind of where I was
I know
going.
his goal was 10 cars. I don't know how
You
many.
don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have everything to do with, because he seems pretty entrepreneurial. So let's say he gets 20 commitments. Okay, well then you just put him in A main, B main,
Ha!
I mean,
That's true. That's a good idea. I hope he hears that. That's a
Yeah.
good
yeah.
idea.
And then if he ever wanted to sell, series sponsorships, the more cars you got, the more kids you got, the more audience you got, the more tracks want you. Because
He's
where
a
are you racing
businessman.
right now? Where are you racing right now?
It's Irwindale Speedway.
Only.
Yeah, that's the only place that the
Series.
junior spec, this series racing.
And I think he's smart in doing that. Let's concentrate on this track. Let's get everybody good on this track. Let's get everything figured out on this track. And then if all of a sudden we have an opportunity to go someplace else, then we'll take the show on the road.
right.
I think that's where he's probably, I don't even know him.
Can you help me understand something? I'm still fairly new to racing here. I understand spec. It's all the same. So the difference is the driver.
Right.
So
Correct.
the driving skills kind of rises to the top.
Right.
Correct.
But if they're set up the same, to be successful, is there one particular driving style that fits that setup? Because I know in my division there's like 2 way different styles.
Oh, I see what you're
so
saying.
we have way different setups.
Well, so me and Charlie recently have learned racing asphalt in the last 3 months.
Yeah, right.
Is-
Okay. Yeah. Time's not quite on your side yet. Yeah.
The track changes in temperature, the tires change, all that changes. So you have to change how you drive the car. Similar to dirt, where dirt you have to change according to what the track is doing, how the track comes in. But it's just coming in different is all, I guess you could say.
And how long did it take for you to kind of figure that out, would you say, if you're guessing?
Around like it took a little while to adapt, probably like a month. Just to
But
try
this-
try to figure it out, you know.
But this was all on the same track, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so at least you weren't being confused by going to all these different tracks and trying to figure this thing out.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
So from an asphalt point of view, do you like because, dirt is slides, slips. Asphalt sticks. So do you kind of, if you could have your choice, do you like the slipping and sliding, throwing your tail around and diving into a turn, or do you like the actual grip?
I don't know. They're pretty even for me.
Yeah. Which is good, because that's what a multiple driver can do. You never heard of anybody by the name of Scott Pruitt?
No.
But Scott Pruitt, his dad started him out in go-karts. Amazing. But he could drive anything. He didn't care. It could be a road course, it could be a circle, it could be off-road. And I kind of think you've got that ability as well, because you don't overthink it. You want me to drive it, just let me drive it, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And that's natural. That's not even, you're sitting here kind of looking at me like, what's he talking about? That's the way I feel every time I get into a race car. Now, Brittany, on the other hand, she's very super comfortable in her car, but she may not be comfortable in a modified. It'll take a while.
Yeah,
but
I don't know any better. I only know dwarfs.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
He has at least tried. Yeah.
Well, you would never turn down a steering wheel, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's the other key is, you'd never turn down a steering wheel. If it turns and goes.
That's Sheldon Creed does quite a variety.
I know.
Yeah.
Carry your gear with you all the time.
Yes.
Always have it in the trunk.
Our call-in last week, she's a drag racer.
Oh, my God.
And she was off watching as a spectator and was asked to run a different person's car, and she didn't have her gear with her.
And they all looked at her like, what?
But she was about the same size
As
as
the original
the racer
driver.
who does it. So luckily she not only was able to go down the road, but went 277 miles per hour.
277.
But we said, please learn from this.
Yeah.
Always bring your gear.
Yeah, always bring
your gear.
Always bring it. So, this is usually the time of the show that we say, okay, let's talk about your sponsors. But this isn't a sponsor show.
Well, do you have people behind you, though?
Yeah, of course, my dad, he's helped me with figuring out just
What the
multiple
heck?
things.
What the heck are we doing?
Yeah, pretty much. And then Bob Rumcati for running the series, putting on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
Allowing us to drive a full-size NASCAR as kids.
Does that blow
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah,
Does
thank
that
you.
blow you away or doesn't that blow you away?
It kind of is freaking crazy being able to drive a NASCAR at 12 years old. It's crazy.
He has a spotter that works NASCAR, right?
Yeah, he's one of the top NASCAR spotters.
That's so rad.
I don't know his last name, Justin. But
Yeah, I don't know his last
Hey,
name.
you don't care. As long as he's in your ear, right?
Right, pretty much.
Now, that's got to be something new for you. A spotter?
No.
How long have you had a spotter in your ear?
For about 4 years. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
what? Wait, what? That's allowed?
Well, he did junior.
Junior dwarfs.
No.
Oh,
trophy
something else.
carts.
Yeah,
trophy
Junior
carts.
2 trophy cars.
They let you
We
have-
did that for 4 years.
Yeah, they let because it's short track, so we gotta have spotters.
Okay.
So yeah, we had spotters for that, but
Okay, so then that wasn't anything new to you then.
no,
In fact, you probably enjoyed it.
yeah,
Do you like a spotter in your ear?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So do you like the chatty spotter?
He hates a chatty
Or
spotter.
do you like the spotter that doesn't say anything until
Is
he needs
Justin
to say
listening right
something?
now?
I like the ones where they only say what I need to know.
He screams at me if I talk too much. You are talking too much. You need to shut up.
Yeah,
Oh, so he agrees. He shouldn't say anything to you unless he needs to say to you.
pretty much. Yeah,
Because if you watch it on TV, high, going high, still high, still high, still high. Okay, I think I got it. All I got to do is look to the right. I can see out the car now. So I agree with you. Don't be talking to me unless I need to be talked to. Yeah. Do they ever yell at you
No.
when you're going, maybe you should have done something you weren't supposed to, or what have you? No. That's good. That's good.
Let's ask him the same question at the end of the season.
Well, no, let's ask his dad, because that's the question. Oh, that's right. We can't talk to him. He's out of it. He's a chauffeur.
In this, they don't let you talk.
I know. You're the chauffeur.
Listen. Yeah, literally just the chauffeur. I can listen to the spotter, but I'm not allowed to talk at all. Like they'd fire me.
What do you? Well, how many cups of coffee do you chew? The cup just right down to nothing.
And fingernails and everything else.
How long are you? I mean, you've been a crew chief for how long?
For between him and my daughter, almost 15 years.
Somebody's punishing you. I don't know what you did wrong, but somebody's punishing. That would. And here, but you know what? I got it. We'll talk about it when we come back, because you have a new perspective of his racing now that you're not involved, other than the one-on-one. It's got to be different than not having your hand on the car.
Definitely different.
Let's take a quick break. This is Racer Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
There's going to be 11 minutes of pure joy.
Ah, we got it.
Just listen to this. I mean, see? Freebird. It's one of my favorite songs. We had a band guy in here, and that's just a riff. They're just sitting around playing the guitars and playing the... God.
That's an awesome song.
I will listen to the whole thing if you don't roll me out of here. Folks, this is Racer Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Certified Car Clinic. Get your car worked on. They got a dyno in-house to make sure everything they did right for you. 11370 North Woodside Avenue in Santee, 92071. We got to do a music show one of these Sundays, you know? Just you and me, Brendan.
Just playing music constantly.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Make like a DJ.
Yeah.
Oh, and Brittany.
And Britney, too.
I am a musician.
She is. Yeah, I know.
Just a thought, maybe.
And I'm the farthest thing from a magician. All right. So we got Charlie in the house. He is a whopping 12 years old and races in NASCAR. And he's got a little teeny secret, which would tell me, hey, I can do anything too. Mm-hmm. And what is that little issue you have, son?
I have type 1 diabetes.
Wow. So what is type 1 diabetes?
So basically what happens is your pancreas no longer produces insulin.
Oh.
So now you have to give yourself insulin.
Okay.
And you have to have this monitor to be able to tell yourself your blood sugar so that you can determine how much insulin you need.
Right.
So basically for every single meal that I eat, I have to take a dose of insulin.
Wow. So, but then is there a number range that you have to deal with?
Yeah, normally we want it like 100 and 150.
Okay. Can you tell before you know you're out of whack number wise? I mean, do you feel kind of odd or different?
Yeah, I do. At a certain point, like a lower point in blood sugar, I feel kind of weak and kind of shaky. Gotcha.
So you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
What about your diet?
It's pretty much the same.
So you can still have an In-N-Out burger?
Yeah, I can if I want to. Yeah.
You're not an In-N-Out burger kid?
That doesn't look like it.
No? You can say it. It's okay. They're not your sponsor.
Yeah.
They're not giving you any money.
Yeah. What do you like? Maybe it could become a sponsor.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, well, what do you like to eat?
No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they'll become a sponsor someday.
So do you have any? I mean, you just eat just normal, right?
Yeah.
So I think a message on this, because I was telling him, he's come in here before. Andrew races BMX racers. He came in 2 years ago. And I think when he was first diagnosed with it, he thought it was the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then he figured it out. And by the time I had him as an 8th grader, life was good again. It was balanced. He figured it out. And I think you're a prime example of,
exactly.
And I'm sure it's a shock to the family and especially whoever is diagnosed.
Right.
But you can live with it.
Right.
And you can
you got to
race NASCAR.
And you got to stick to your guns. If you have to do it, you know, whatever it is that you have to do, you just got to do it. You don't say, well, I'm not going to do it today.
And where were you when you got diagnosed? Rady's?
Yeah. Rady Children's Hospital. I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was about 1 year old.
Oh, wow, that young.
Yeah, I've had it for about 11 years now. And, if it weren't for Rady Children's Hospital, I wouldn't be here on this radio.
That's what Dad was confirming.
Well, and it's helpful that people knew to take you to Rady's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, so, yeah. So you take the race car over to Rady's? Come on, the kids would love it.
Oh, my gosh.
Just park it out front. Let them come over. Oh, can't put their hands on it because he waxes it. In fact, he only waxed it Saturday for the first time,
the first
right?
time you were alled to touch it?
Yeah, that was it.
Were there handlers watching you?
No, it was him. I come rolling around, man. He's just that thing was beautiful. It's the original colors of the owner. It's kind of a real pretty royal blue on the bottom, yellow top, and then number 9.
Bright orange top.
Yeah, bright orange.
Number 6.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's number 9. The guy's real.
It's never make it 9.
Why not?
Because he's upside down. Oh, that's what I thought you were going at.
Do you believe that?
That's where I thought you were going.
Have you ever been upside down?
Yeah.
Really?
Stop doing that.
Yeah. It was okay, right?
Yeah.
Slow motion.
No, not really.
Oh, no.
Fast as hell.
Yeah.
What were you in?
It's called the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called a micro sprint.
Oh.
I've been on that twice.
Oh.
And his mini dwarf twice.
Yeah. Well, I've never been on my lid in the mini dwarf. Only on my wheels and my side.
Yeah.
I almost forgot to answer your curiosity, Keith.
Yeah.
Charlie and I have somebody in common.
Who?
Dad's been trying to figure it out. So when I was doing a little bit of research on him, I came across a picture and I reached out to the fabricator, Darren Brent.
Oh, yeah.
He is my sensei.
B&B chassis.
So you have been
Good
in
dude.
one of he's my sensei. The only
Awesome.
reason I was able to fall in love with racing was because of him. So I reached out to Darren and I asked, hey, do you know this Charlie kid? He's all, yeah. He was very impressed with you in the micro, right? That's what he was in? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He just got in it and started driving it. It was pretty amazing. I was pretty scared, but it's pretty amazing because they're so fast,
Yeah.
Did that scare you?
Going that fast? No, I was kind of excited to go that fast.
Yeah.
Where were you? Was that out at the Verona track?
No, Adobe.
Adobe Mountain Speedway.
Okay.
Phoenix.
So do you miss dirt?
Yeah.
That's been my lingering question in my head.
I know. Well, he has to miss it.
Well, Del Mar?
Yeah, he wants to do Del Mar this year. So
That's dirt.
We're working on that. Just a fair exhibition race, but it'll be fun.
It'll be fun just to keep getting back, getting dirty again.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to do a couple races at Verona with we've got my daughter's old junior sprint still. So
oh, you don't throw nothing away either?
No, we have 6 race cars in our garage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we still have the race car where we won our first championships in.
Yeah.
Well, you're never going to sell it, are you?
No.
Hang it from the ceiling in the front room. Mom will never know.
Do we have more sponsors we need to get to?
Yes. Tim Huddleston with U-Race LA. He allows us to practice
nice.
Before race day with Ryan Partridge, which has been coaching me. Has done most of my coaching with the Junior Spec late models. And then my spotter, Justin, making sure that I know what's around me, Irwindale Speedway for allowing us to race,
And being there.
Yeah. Bob Bruncati for having the cars and putting on, running it.
And you got the first one.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Sunrise 4, that's the main sponsor of our car. Couldn't do it without them. And then Jason Cagle, which is actually a friend of my dad's, which has helped me with strategy as well. And then the crew that services the car, make sure it's ready for racing. Bill Sedgwick, and then Mike Fisk, and Dennis Peloso.
That's cool that he knows their names. That's cool.
And of course, Rady Children's Hospital for keeping me alive. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. We do appreciate that. You got to thank him every once in a while.
Yeah.
But,
he mentioned strategy. How would you describe him as a racer, Dad?
Precise. I guess. Yeah, he sits there and he
hits his spots.
Yeah, he hits the spots wherever they need to be to get around people or wherever they need to be just to qualify fast. He's started most of his races in the back and worked his way to finish to the front.
Right.
So it's he's just very precise is the best way to put it. When he was younger, he was a little bit of a rough driver because we were racing dirt, but he's really outgrown a lot of that, and he's just very, very precise. You tell him one thing, and he just does it to the T.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
Be careful.
Yeah, right.
You might have to undo something, you know. Or
So I guess, Charlie, you would have to say, communication's extremely important within the whole in the whole organization, whether it be the spotter. I know your dad can't, get involved, but I'm sure he just can't hold himself back. So he's got tips as well.
yeah.
So do you have a crew chief? Are there like 9 crew chiefs, or is there
Right.
only like one?
That's Bill Sedgwick.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the guy that's the crew in your car, he's like I said, there's no pits. So
He crews all 7 cars that have raced so far. He's the crew chief of the entire series, basically, of all the cars.
So he's the answer man in case you have a question, right?
Yep.
With that precision, are you still having a good time?
Yeah, of course I am.
Oh, we were talking about focus because that's like a big deal for me, trying to find focus. And so when you're
not
not
gonna
behind
say
the
it.
wheel, like, so you do karate,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
And what
yeah?
was the name of your particular?
Kenpo karate.
Yeah, there's no way I was remembering.
Does that help, you think?
Yeah.
In what respect? Attention?
Discipline and just staying focused.
Yeah. He's so laid back.
I know he is laid back.
How could he be focused? But you know what? He wins. Excuse me. 4
He's,
championships.
I think calm under pressure.
4 champion. Go ahead. Throw up 4 championships. No, you. 4 championships. Don't you wish?
Not happening.
If you'd have started when you were 12,
Yeah,
you would have
maybe.
done just
Yeah,
fine.
maybe.
Guys, can't thank you enough. You do social media?
Yes, the Charlie Show 1 on Instagram, and then Charlie Carty Racing on YouTube, and I also have a website, charliecarty.com.
And if anybody has a steering wheel, you're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ask Charlie.
Ask Charlie.
He's there.
A T-shirt. Racer Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl.